Act as if you are the best, not because you need validation, not because you want attention, but because deep down, you know no one can outwork you, out-discipline you, or outlast you. The moment you stop doubting yourself is the moment the world starts adjusting to your energy. Most people live small. They shrink themselves to fit into rooms. They lower their voice, their ambition, their standards, just to be accepted. But Stoicism teaches something different. It teaches you that your worth is not decided by others. It is built internally through discipline, control, and self-mastery. You don't need to say you're the best. You don't need to prove it to anyone. You simply become the kind of person where it becomes obvious the dangerous power of self-perception. Your life follows your self-image. If you see yourself as average, you act average. If you see yourself as weak, you hesitate. If you see yourself as not enough, you hold back. But when you truly believe, I am the best, everything changes. You walk differently. You speak with clarity. You stop chasing approval because you already approve of yourself. Stoics understood this deeply. Your mind is your battlefield, and the moment you win there, you win everywhere. Acting like the best versus arrogance. Let's make something clear. Acting like the best is not arrogance. Arrogance is loud. It needs attention. It depends on others to feel superior. But true confidence, it's silent. It doesn't compare. It doesn't compete emotionally. It simply executes. When you act like the best, you don't argue with fools. You don't explain your worth. You don't seek validation. You just move with purpose. And people feel it without you saying a word. Control what you can. Ignore the rest. The Stoic mindset is simple. Control what you can. Ignore what you can't. You can't control people's opinions, their jealousy, their doubt, but you can control your discipline, your habits, your mindset. So why waste energy trying to impress people when you could be building yourself into someone undeniable? Act like the best by focusing inward. That's where real power lives. The identity shift. You don't become great by accident. You become great by identity. Instead of asking, what should I do? Ask, who do I need to become? The best version of you wakes up early, trains even when tired, stays calm under pressure, doesn't quit when things get hard. So act like that person now, not tomorrow, not when you feel ready. Now, because identity creates behavior, and behavior creates reality. Silence is your weapon. The strongest people don't talk much. They don't announce their goals. They don't explain their moves. They work in silence. While others are talking, they're improving. While others are doubting, they're executing. Act like the best by becoming quiet, focused, and dangerous. Let your results speak. Stop seeking approval. The moment you need approval, you lose power. Because now, your confidence depends on others. And people are inconsistent. They praise you one day and doubt you the next. Stoicism teaches independence. Your value doesn't change based on opinions. So act like the best by detaching from validation. Do the work. Trust yourself. Move forward. Act as if you are the best, not to prove anything, but because you refuse to live beneath your potential. You don't need permission. You don't need applause. You need discipline, focus, and belief. Because in the end, the person who wins is the one who never stopped believing they already could. Discipline is your true superpower. Confidence fades. Motivation comes and goes. But discipline? Discipline stays. If you truly want to act like the best, you must build a life that doesn't depend on how you feel. Because feelings are unreliable. Some days you'll feel strong. Some days you'll feel tired. Some days you'll feel like quitting. But the best don't negotiate with emotions. They move regardless. They train when they're exhausted. They focus when they're distracted. They show up when nobody is watching. That's the difference. Anyone can act confident for a moment, but only the disciplined can sustain greatness. Mental toughness, becoming unshakable. Life will test you. People will doubt you. Situations will pressure you. Failure will try to break you. And in those moments, your mindset is exposed. Do you collapse? Or do you stay steady? Stoicism teaches emotional control, not suppression. Control. You feel everything, but you are ruled by nothing. When something goes wrong, you don't panic. You pause. You think. You respond with clarity. That's what makes you dangerous, because while others react emotionally, you remain calm, and calmness is power. Embrace discomfort daily. Comfort is the enemy of greatness. If your life is too easy, you are not growing. The best people in the world intentionally choose discomfort. They wake up earlier than necessary, push beyond their limits, do things others avoid. Why? Because discomfort builds strength. Every time you choose the hard path, you increase your mental edge. So act like the best by doing what's uncomfortable. Not sometimes, daily, because the more discomfort you handle, the less anything can break you. Detach from outcomes. One of the most powerful Stoic principles. Focus on effort, not outcome. Most people are obsessed with results. They want success fast. They want recognition immediately. But the best? They fall in love with the process. They show up every day, regardless of results. They don't panic if things are slow. They don't quit if progress is invisible, because they understand something deeper. You don't control results. You control actions. And if your actions are consistent, results become inevitable. So act like the best by focusing only on what you can control. The work, nothing else. Eliminate weak habits. You can't act like the best while living like the average. Your habits define you, not your intentions, not your words, your habits. If you waste time scrolling, avoid hard tasks, procrastinate, make excuses, then no mindset will save you. So be ruthless. Cut the habits that weaken you. Replace them with discipline, focus, consistency, because every small action is shaping who you become. The power of self-control. The strongest person in the room is the one who controls themselves, not the loudest, not the most aggressive, the most controlled. Self-control means you don't react instantly. You don't let anger take over. You don't chase distractions. You think before acting. You move with intention. while others are slaves to impulse. You are in command. That's rare, and that's why it makes you powerful. Build relentless consistency. Anyone can start. Few can continue. Consistency is what separates the best from everyone else. Not talent, not luck. Consistency. Showing up every day, without excuses, without needing motivation, even when it's boring, even when it's repetitive, even when no one cares. Because the truth is, greatness is built in the unseen moments. So act like the best by becoming consistent, even when it feels pointless, because those moments are where you're actually winning. Stop waiting. Start now. Most people are waiting to feel ready, waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for confidence. But the best? They don't wait. They act, even when unsure, even when scared, even when unprepared, because action creates clarity, not thinking, not planning forever. Action. So if you want to act like the best, stop waiting. Start now. Discipline over feelings. Control over chaos. Action over hesitation. This is how you separate yourself. This is how you become unshakable. Because acting like the best is not about pretending. It's about building a version of yourself that no challenge can break. Dominate in silence. Move in silence. That's how the best operate. They don't announce their plans. They don't post every step. They don't seek attention before results. Why? Because talking is easy. Execution is rare. Every time you speak too early, you release energy that should have been used to build. The Stoic understands this. Silence protects focus. So act like the best by saying less and doing more. Let people wonder. Let them doubt. Let them underestimate you. And then surprise them with results. Build a powerful presence. You don't need to speak loudly to be respected. Presence is not volume. It's energy. When you act like the best, people feel it immediately, in the way you walk, in the way you look at others, in the way you carry yourself. You are calm. You are grounded. You are not seeking approval, and that makes people pay attention. Because most people are nervous. Most people are trying too hard. But you are composed. That's power. Control your reactions. Your reaction reveals your level. Anyone can stay calm when things are easy. But when you are disrespected, ignored, challenged, what do? Do you react emotionally, or do you stay in control? The best never lose control. Not because they don't feel anger, but because they don't let anger control their actions. They pause. They assess. They respond strategically. That's what makes them dangerous, because they are always in command, even in chaos. Stop explaining yourself. You don't owe explanations to everyone. Weak people constantly explain their choices, their goals, their lifestyle. Why? Because they need validation. But when you act like the best, you move with certainty. You don't argue. You don't justify. You don't convince. You simply act and let your life speak for you. Because real confidence doesn't explain. It exists. Protect your energy. Your energy is limited. Where you invest it matters. If you waste it on drama, negative people, useless arguments, you weaken yourself. The best are selective. They choose who they spend time with, what they focus on, what they ignore. They don't engage in everything. They protect their peace, because peace allows clarity, and clarity creates power. So act like the best by guarding your energy like it's your most valuable asset, because it is. Become emotionally independent. Most people are controlled by others. A compliment makes them happy. An insult ruins their day. That's weakness, because now your state depends on external things. Stoicism teaches emotional independence. Your peace comes from within, not from praise, not from approval, not from attention. When you act like the best, you are stable, unmoved by opinions, unaffected by noise, because you know who you are. And that's enough. Master the art of observation. The loudest person in the room learns the least. The best observe. They watch how people behave, how situations unfold, how opportunities appear. They don't rush to speak. They gather information, because knowledge is power, and observation gives you an advantage most people ignore. So act like the best by becoming aware. See more, say less. That's how you stay ahead. Detach from the need to be liked. Not everyone will like you, and that's a good thing. If everyone likes you, you're probably compromising yourself. The best are not for everyone. They set boundaries, speak truth, stay authentic, and sometimes that makes people uncomfortable. But that's the price of self-respect. So stop trying to be liked. Focus on being respected, because respect lasts longer than approval. Move with purpose, not emotion. Emotion is temporary. Purpose is permanent. If you act based on emotion, you'll quit when it gets hard. You'll slow down when you feel tired. You'll get distracted easily, but when you move with purpose, you stay locked in, no matter how you feel, because your mission is bigger than your mood. So act like the best by being driven by purpose, not feelings. That's how you stay consistent, no matter what. Silence, presence, control. This is how you dominate, without noise. You don't need attention. You don't need validation. You need focus, because when you act like the best, you don't chase recognition. Recognition finds you. Eliminate fear at the root. Fear doesn't control you, unless you let it. Most people try to avoid fear. They run from it. They delay action because of it. But the Stoic does the opposite. They face it, because fear is not the enemy. Ignorance is. When you clearly see what you're afraid of, it loses power. Ask yourself, what exactly am I afraid of? What's the worst that can happen? Can I survive it? Most of the time, the answer is yes. So act like the best by confronting fear directly, because once you walk through it, you realize it was never that powerful. Accept pain as part of growth. You cannot grow without pain. That's reality. The best don't complain about it. They expect it. Pain is not punishment. It's training. Every struggle builds resilience, strengthens your mind, sharpens your character. While others avoid discomfort, you embrace it, because you understand. Easy lives create weak people. Hard challenges create strong ones. So act like the best by accepting pain as part of your evolution. Kill the victim mentality. You are not a victim. No matter what happened to you, you still have control over your response. Weak people blame their past, their environment, other people. Strong people take responsibility, even when it's unfair, even when it's difficult, because responsibility gives you power. Blame takes it away. So act like the best by owning everything in your life, your actions, your results, your future. That's how you take control. Stop overthinking. Act decisively. Overthinking is silent destruction. You analyze too much. You hesitate. You delay, and opportunities pass. The best don't overthink. They decide. Not perfectly, but quickly, because action beats hesitation every time. You will never have complete certainty. So stop waiting for it. Act with what you know. Adjust as you go. That's how progress happens. Build mental endurance. Physical strength matters. But mental endurance? That's everything. Can you keep going when you're tired, you're bored, you feel like quitting? That's where most people fail. Not because they can't, but because they stop. The best push through. They endure. They continue long after others quit, because they understand success is not about intensity. It's about duration. So act like the best by building endurance. Stay in the game longer. That alone will separate you. Become comfortable being alone. If you can't be alone, you'll always depend on others. And dependence creates weakness. The best are comfortable in solitude. They don't need constant attention, validation, noise. They use alone time to think, improve, reset, because growth requires space. So act like the best by embracing solitude, not as loneliness, but as strength. Turn setbacks into fuel. Failure is not the end. It's information. Most people fail and stop. The best fail and learn. They ask, what went wrong? What can I improve? How do I come back stronger? And then they move forward. No excuses. No self-pity. Just progress. So act like the best by using setbacks as fuel, because every failure is preparing you for a higher level. Detach from instant gratification. We live in a world of instant rewards, fast entertainment, quick validation, easy dopamine. But the best reject this. They delay gratification. They choose long-term growth over short-term pleasure, discipline over comfort, focus over distraction, because they understand what's easy now makes life harder later. What's hard now makes life easier later. So act like the best by choosing discipline, even when it's uncomfortable. Become mentally untouchable. When you reach this level, nothing can shake you. Not criticism, not failure, not pressure, because your strength is internal. You don't rely on external validation, easy circumstances, other people's opinions. You are stable, grounded, unbreakable. That's what it means to act like the best. Not perfection, but resilience. Fear faced, pain accepted, weakness eliminated. This is how you become untouchable, because at this level, life can test you all it wants, but it will never break you. Live like the best every single day. At this level, it's no longer something you try to do. It's who you are. Acting like the best is no longer an effort. It's your identity. You don't wake up asking, Should I be disciplined today? No, you wake up and execute, because that's who you've become. Your standards are higher. Your mindset is sharper. Your focus is unbreakable. And most importantly, you are consistent, not occasionally great, but consistently strong. Set non-negotiable standards. The best don't rely on motivation. They rely on standards. Standards are rules you refuse to break, no matter what. You train even when tired. You work even when unmotivated. You stay focused even when distracted. There is no negotiation, no excuses, because every time you lower your standards, you weaken your identity. So act like the best by setting non-negotiable rules for your life and living by them daily. Master your time like a weapon. Time is your most valuable asset. Once it's gone, it's gone. The average person wastes it. The best use it with precision. They plan. They prioritize. They execute. They don't spend hours scrolling aimlessly, watching pointless content, engaging in distractions. Every hour has a purpose because they understand your future is built by how you use your time today. So act like the best by treating time like a weapon. Use it wisely. Stay humble, stay dangerous. There's a paradox at the top. You act like the best, but you stay humble. Why? Kai? Because arrogance blinds you. It makes you careless. It stops your growth. But humility keeps you sharp. You continue learning. You continue improving. You never think you've arrived. So while others become comfortable, you stay dangerous, always evolving, always growing. Build a life of purpose. Being the best is not just about success. It's about purpose. Why do you do what you do? What are you building? Who are you becoming? Without purpose, discipline fades. But with purpose, you become unstoppable. Because now, your actions have meaning. So act like the best by connecting everything you do to a bigger mission, something beyond yourself. Lead yourself first. Before you lead others, you must lead yourself, your habits, your emotions, your decisions. If you can't control yourself, you can't control anything else. The best are self-led. They don't wait for instructions. They don't need supervision. They take initiative. They act. So act like the best by becoming your own leader. Hold yourself accountable. Raise your own standards. Push yourself daily. Leave a legacy at the highest level. It's no longer about you. It's about what you leave behind. Your work, your impact, your example. Did you live fully? Did you push your limits? Did you become everything you were capable of? The best think long term. They build something that lasts. So act like the best by thinking beyond the present. Build a life that matters. The final truth. Here's the truth most people avoid. No one is coming to save you. No one will push you every day. No one will build your life for you. It's on you, completely. And that's not a burden. It's power, because it means you are in control. Your effort, your mindset, your future. So act like the best because you choose to, not because it's easy, not because it's comfortable, but because you refuse to live any other way. Act as if you are the best. Walk like it. Think like it. Live like it. Not for attention, not for validation, but because you've built a mindset that cannot accept anything less. You are disciplined. You are focused. You are in control. And at this level, you don't chase greatness. You become it.